Libras, hello, what is up? Welcome to your reading. So right now we have an 8th house transit. So we are starting to see us taking our contracts, our hope for contracts, our wish for contracts into the outer world, and we're starting to get that reciprocity. This week is going to bring us a Sun conjunct Uranus event. We're going to have a Venus conjunct Uranus event. So as we are Venusian, Venus ruled, we're going to get a real sense of a blending. I want to say a blending because of Aquarius in our 5th house and Pluto going retrograde at 2 degrees. The Sun conjunct Uranus event is going to bring us, into the fore. We're going to be on our feet. We're going to have to do something that we don't normally do. And that is going to be something that is further impacted with our sense of how we carry ourselves, how we live in our heart, how we have a joy of life, the sense of being happy for being alive. So on Moon Day, we have Krishna, which is like maybe speaking to us needing to give ourselves permission to really drive action, to be okay with making sure that we are getting things done and in order, because right now our contracts are going to be something that in Scorpio season, as we are sowing these seeds for the outer world, we will have taken the action that is supportive of our message. It's supportive of the figure that we are asserting ourselves as the person who's getting the investors and getting the agreements, getting the, I would say the standing socially to do and say more than we've allowed ourselves to do and say before. With our 7th house being transited by the North Node, we're starting to see that different leaders, thought leaders, are coming into our world to help guide our process. And I say that we're going to be actually like standing out to them. Like we're going to have different experiences with the moon going through our 10th house of career. We're going to feel like these people are equally drawn to us as we are authentically expressing ourselves. The human gift. I think that if there's any conflict around you giving yourself permission to take actions that drive home your future contracts, agreements, investors, you're going to be met by a sense of optimism that isn't shaken. Aloha, love, hello. You're meeting people as your inner child, as the authority of your heart, and that is a very strong bond to forge with these leaders, these people who are thought leaders who are just as moved by your presence as you are by them. Congratulations, Libra. It feels like in your social life, the moon on Mars Day will be in Leo. Mars will be at 10 degrees Aries. It's like you're championing a new version of yourself in your relationship. So that's also very attractive, and it's attracting these leaders to take notice of you and take notice of your actions. If anything, it's just like you now can really accept someone like saying thank you and someone talking to you because you have a new sense of self and a new sense of presence. So Mars at 10 degrees Aries, I want to look at that with inside degrees. Roots of a tree entwined around the statue of a nude woman. So I would say that we are being celebrated for our feminine nature, our feelings, our thoughts, our ideas, and on Tuesday, how we express those is going to be well received, Libra. That's really exciting. So be sure to take the time to, I'm working on writing a newsletter. Do something that is so well done that you know that whenever you start to get your applause in your audience, it's coming from you at your best. And that will be the bond that is something that action you take will be like a huge gesture to the universe of what you're ready to receive. Mercury Day. Mercury at 29 degrees Aries. It feels like we are going to have to be in this state of observation on Mercury Day to see how our communication is landing with people, to do all of the supportive stuff, to know like how we can convey our message in a way that shows this like bulletproof, I'm making bulletproof coffees, this bulletproof exterior to where it's like you see past the matrix, you're in the world but not of it. You can go to the depths with people without staying there. You care, but you don't carry. And I think that that's a big one for Wednesday. Mars at 11 degrees, Aries is going to ask that we're taking that extra integrity in our thoughts and communication. So what thought forms what vibration are your thought forms sending out? We have the Ace of Water, which also looks like Kanaloa. It's like this figure who has his eyes out, but is going deep within to touch the most tender parts of themselves to offer that to the world. And I sense that that's going to be very attractive to your audience on Wednesday. Thursday, Jupiter Day. Jupiter's at 27 degrees Taurus, and it's forming a conjunction with the Sun. So that is a building aspect. And what we want to do is we want to look and see, Libra, where the contracts that we have are offering a return that we know is worth the value. I think that we're going to have to do away with the thoughts that, snap us out of a dream state. Kamala Devi, we're showing up as this beautiful, focused, present, feminine energy. So people can feel when you are paying attention to them. They see, like, you can tell when someone's looking at you. So when someone's thinking loving thoughts about you, you also gravitate towards that. It's very reassuring. So if you ever snap into this state of like questioning or doubting your capacity to pull it off, stand in your regal imagination. Allow for the best case scenario to come into the present moment, and what one single step can you take to move the needle forward that much more? Libra, that's going to be called for. And we have on Venus Day, Mercury moves to 1 degrees Taurus, and Venus is at 21 degrees Taurus. So we're going to have a lot of passion and a rich sense of conviction around what it is that we are doing. We're going to come into a confidence. With Neptune at 29 degrees, it feels like a very nurturing, etheric, radiant energy. So whatever you're doing on Friday, just make sure that you're giving gratitude, Libra, and watch that your speech and thoughts and communication to yourself is loving. We are needing to come into grace for what we're learning. What we're learning doesn't work. What we're learning is good for us, and we have to accept that and take steps to really make sure that we're balancing and maintaining a sense of purpose in the action, in the mundane. That when we're doing what we're doing to move our life forward, pausing to actually tell your brain, hey brain, we're doing it, that creates a chemical reaction in the brain. It gives us not cortisol, that's stress. So it gives us the opposite of that. Maybe cortisol is when we're freaking out about whether or not what we're doing is important, whether or not what we're doing will land, whether or not what we're doing is even like aligned to us. And I think that if you feel those feelings, how can you step away from those thoughts? How can you view things from a perspective that shows you believe in yourself, that shows that you will accept the grace from the universe? One powerful quote I got from the Artist's Way was to affirm that, God, I will focus on the quantity if you help me with the quality. And I feel that on Venus Day, coming into this soul nectar of just assuring yourself that, hey, I'm doing the work, I'm showing up, and I deserve what's coming to meet me, that's going to help you guys with all of this poise that you're being asked to really live in, and to get away from the thoughts that conquer or defeat your potential. And potential has to be delivered through action, so you will feel the motivation and the compulsion to take actions aligned with this feminine, gracious, beautiful energy to move your story forward. So come Saturday, Saturn Day, Saturn has moved into, it's going to move by the end of this day with the Sun at 27 degrees to 18 degrees. So we are getting, with the Moon in Virgo, clarity on what might have been foggy before, what might have been really big before. Like, you might have had some intuitions that you followed this week, and it will be clear that you have achieved new levels with yourself because of Saturn's movement forward 1 degree, and it's asking you, are you in alignment with your faith? Did you trust when you had no proof, when you had no evidence? And the Venus conjunct Uranus, I think, is going to be giving you a lot of confidence to take steps that allow for you to open up to this abundance that Jupiter has for what is coming into play, like what contracts are coming into being. And on Saturn Day, yeah, we're going to be asked to arise. We aren't alone anymore. We've far lived beyond the dark night of the soul, but I feel that this is the tether. This is like the golden core that you were pulling to yourself during this dark night of the soul. Like in the present, you can reach back into the past and reassure yourself, give yourself that next step from back then. And then now, how can you anchor from back then this really beautiful crowning achievement that is yours, Libra? It's yours. And come Sunday, Sun conjunct Jupiter, this is going to be like communication at a high level, things that you never could have guessed, that you never would have known, but you were really hoping for are going to come into fruition. And the moon in our first house is going to alleviate some of the patterning that we've had around maybe getting that acceptance and coming into a place where we are willing to receive as much as we give. I think that we've had some negative boundaries around what we're willing to receive, because it's like we know the work involved in receiving certain gifts from people. We know the work in receiving certain assignments, but on a spiritual level, we asked for this, and now we're actually coming into a place where now we have to take the journey on. The journey has to move on, and we have to keep going in this direction with this heightened and aggravated, alleviated sense of purpose. So maybe if you haven't been taking action in an area, like say you've been holding back in a creative expression or in a relationship, you're going to come to see what the next steps are to bridge you from where you are to what the best case scenario is, where you want to go with things. So Libra, on this Sunday, the Sun will be conjunct Jupiter. Just expect for new people that you have known for a long time to come to you with offers that are for you. You're ready for them, and you have to just come into a place where you're willing to accept that you've changed, you've transformed, you're on fire, Ace of Fire, and you can handle what's coming to you. Libra, please let me know how your week goes. I hope that you have a fabulous week, and I look forward to hearing about it in the comments. Aloha, and see you soon.